The city of Charleston, South Carolina, was often described as timeless: cobblestone streets, gas lanterns glowing at night, and the sound of waves from the nearby harbor carrying through the air. For Hannah Mitchell, 27, Charleston wasn't just a city, it was the heart of her dreams. She had always imagined walking down one of its historic church aisles in a white dress, surrounded by family and friends, toward the man she loved. That dream seemed to come true when she met Ryan Carter. Ryan was everything Hannah had hoped for: kind, steady, and attentive. They had met at a local community event, where Ryan had volunteered to help organize a fundraiser for children's education. Hannah, who worked as a high school English teacher, had been drawn to his warm smile and his passion for helping others. Their connection was instant. Over the next 2 years, their love grew, and eventually, Ryan asked her to marry him beneath the old oak trees at White Point Garden. It felt perfect, but perfection shattered on the day of their wedding. The church was decorated with lilies, Hannah's favorite flowers. The pews were filled with family, friends, and co-workers. Hannah stood in her bridal gown, holding her bouquet, heart pounding as the music began to play. She turned to the doors, waiting for Ryan to walk down the aisle. Minutes passed. Whispers began. Hannah's smile faltered. The doors never opened. Ryan never came. At first, people assumed he was delayed, but as time dragged on, panic rose. Hannah's father went outside, searching the grounds. The best man made frantic calls. But Ryan had disappeared. No calls. No explanation. No goodbye. Hannah's world collapsed in front of everyone she knew. Humiliation burned as she stood frozen in her gown, unable to process what was happening. Eventually, the ceremony was called off. Guests left in stunned silence, and Hannah went home, tears staining her dress. Days turned into weeks. She searched for him, filed a missing person report, and even checked hospitals. Nothing. Ryan had vanished without a trace. The year that followed was heavy. Hannah struggled through the whispers of neighbors, the pity in her co-workers' eyes, the endless questions. Why did he leave? Did he get cold feet? Did he ever really love her? But deep down, Hannah refused to believe Ryan had simply abandoned her. Something didn't add up. 1 year later, her instincts proved right. It was a rainy afternoon when she walked into her favorite cafe downtown. The bell above the door jingled, and as she shook off her umbrella, her eyes froze. Sitting at a corner table was Ryan. Her heart nearly stopped. He looked thinner, paler, with tired eyes, but it was him. The man who had vanished on their wedding day. Hannah's legs carried her forward before she could think. Ryan. Her voice trembled. He looked up, shock flashing across his face. Slowly he stood. Hannah. The cafe went silent around them, though it was only in her mind. She could barely hear anything over the rush of her heartbeat. You disappeared, she whispered, her voice breaking. On our wedding day. Do you have any idea what you did to me? Ryan's shoulders slumped, guilt written across his face. I know, and I owe you the truth. Please sit with me. Against every instinct, Hannah sat. He took a shaky breath. That morning, before the wedding, I got a call. My younger brother had been in a serious accident. He lived in another state. I rushed to the hospital. By the time I got there, things were worse than I imagined. He needed surgery, and I couldn't leave him. I thought I could call you later, explain everything. But in the chaos, my phone was lost. And when I finally tried to reach you, I didn't know how to face you. I felt I had already ruined everything. Hannah's eyes widened. You could have told me. Anything. Do you know what it was like standing there alone? I know, Ryan said, his voice breaking. I thought I was protecting you from disappointment, from the mess my family was going through. But hiding the truth was the biggest mistake of my life. Tears blurred Hannah's vision. Do you expect me to just forgive you? To forget the humiliation, the heartbreak? Ryan shook his head. No, I don't expect anything. I only wanted you to know the truth. Whether you forgive me or not, I'll accept it. I just couldn't let you keep thinking I abandoned you. For weeks after, Hannah wrestled with her emotions. Part of her was furious. How could he let her suffer for a year, not knowing? But another part remembered the man she loved, the moments they had shared, and the sincerity in his eyes. Slowly, they began to talk again. Ryan introduced her to his brother, who confirmed everything. His accident, the surgeries, the long recovery, it had all been real. The truth didn't erase the pain, but it explained the silence. Hannah's best friend, Claire, was protective. Don't let him waltz back into your life. He hurt you, Hannah. Be careful. And Hannah was careful. She kept her guard up, meeting Ryan only in public, keeping conversations cautious. But little by little, she saw the man she had once fallen in love with. The guilt in him was genuine, but so was his love. One evening, as they walked by the harbor, Ryan stopped. "I don't deserve a second chance, Hannah. But I want to spend the rest of my life proving I'll never let you down again. Whether you marry me tomorrow or never, I'll always be here." Hannah looked at him, her heart aching with all the emotions she had carried. "You broke me, Ryan. But maybe love can be rebuilt." Their story wasn't perfect. There were doubts, hesitations, and moments of fear. But there were also new beginnings, slow dinners, quiet laughter, and long talks. Over time, trust, though fragile, began to take root again. A year later, in the same church where her heart once shattered, Hannah stood once more in a white gown. This time, Ryan was at the altar, waiting, tears glistening in his eyes. When she walked down the aisle, there was no vanishing act, no empty doorway. Only the man who had finally chosen to stay. The pain of the past would never fully disappear, but Hannah realized something profound. Sometimes love isn't about perfection, but about forgiveness, resilience, and the courage to face the truth. Her wedding day had once been her darkest moment. But now, it became the symbol of something new, a love that survived the storm.